Hey, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Let me know if my mic disappears under my jumper and I can move it so that you can all hear me. Today we are doing how to increase turnaround time at Christmas, which I'm super excited about. This is going to be our last Christmas live event of the year. I know we're only in November, but we want to make sure that we're equipping all of you in this live to handle all of the Christmas orders that you're going to get between now and December. So we're going to run through just a recap of, the products that you can print at Christmas, whether that be Christmas themed or your generic products that you sell throughout the entire year. We're also going to run through how to physically print the products, and we're also going to talk about how to get them for the quickest turnaround time. So if you have got customers that are coming to you, later than you would like them to, and you want to get those orders out the door as quick as possible, we're going to teach you how to do that. So without further ado, we're going to start off with a little bit of a presentation today. So how to increase turnaround time at Christmas. So like I said, we're going to cover the best products that you can heat print at Christmas. We're going to cover the best decoration methods to use for maximum profit. So making sure that whether that be custom transfers or heat transfer vinyl, we want to make sure that you're choosing the best possible decoration method to make sure that your turnaround time is as quick as it can be and to make sure you're profiting from that particular decoration method. We're going to be talking about how to get the quickest turnaround time for both of these methods and how to physically heat print festive garments. So the heat press that's sitting behind me that you can probably only just about see, we're going to switch cameras midway through this live and jump onto that and show you how to physically print a t-shirt and a hoodie. So that'll be fun. So first things first, products to sell during the festive season. I'm just going to change the slide over so you can physically see this entire list. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is jumpers and sweatshirts. Now, whether that be Christmas themed jumpers and sweatshirts or your standard products, this is something I like to talk about around Christmas time. And you don't necessarily have to print festive themed garments to profit during the festive season. You can print your standard products that you print all year round. They don't have to be festive themed, but you can utilize this time of year to change up your marketing strategy a little bit and increase your sales. So it's minimal effort on your part. You're not adding any products to your range. You're not increasing your workload. You're just changing your messaging a little bit, and that's going to give you the opportunity to sell more of what you already sell. So, it's just being clever about how you spin your marketing message around that time of year. So jumpers and sweatshirts is a great one to do during the festive season as they're super easy to print, super versatile, and everybody is going to need and want one. The next one I want to talk about is pajamas. Now, this is something that I think is just popular in general at Christmas. People love getting their festive pajamas. It's a good gift to give to somebody. You can bundle them up as well, which is something I wanted to talk about to everyone today. If you're selling one pair of pajamas to if you're selling one pair of pajamas to, for example, a mum or a dad and they have children, then you can absolutely bundle these up and create a package. So you can increase your average order value by selling 3 or 4 sets of pajamas to one family rather than just selling one set. You can, however, sell one set as well, because obviously if you're selling to somebody who just wants to buy one as a gift, then having one available is, just as good. So that's another option. The next one, which is very, very festive themed, is stockings. So with a heat press, you can heat print such a versatile range of products, including stockings. So depending on the fabric of the stocking that your blank stocking is, you can either utilize a pillow or a grip flex pad or a lower platen to isolate the area you want to fuse onto and make sure that you can print those festive items. T-shirts, as we've already mentioned, along the jumpers and sweatshirts. People do still wear T-shirts around this time of year. I know it's a bit more accustomed to wear a jumper or a sweatshirt because of the cooler weather, but we do still see quite a lot of T-shirt sales go through. So don't exclude that from your range. Maybe just leave that as more of a heat print on demand product, so you don't have them pre-done. You wait until the order comes in and then you print them so that you're not wasting products. The next one is socks. So who has not been gifted a pair of socks at Christmas, and who hasn't physically gifted a pair of socks themselves to a friend or a family member? Now, why not sell them a printed pair of socks, whether that be your brand, like I said, your logo, your normal products throughout the year, or have a bit of fun with it, turn them festive and put some Christmassy designs on there and just have a bit of fun and see where you can go with that. So socks are super easy to heat print. You can use, we did them wasn't last week, was it? It was 2 weeks ago. We did a Christmas live. And we put the socks under the auto open heat press. And within 12 seconds, we had a perfectly printed pair of socks. And they have great stretch and rebound with our transfers as well. So you don't have to worry about that side of things. Christmas gift sacks is another one. So things that, all the kids like to leave out for Santa to put their presents in. Offering, a personalized gift sack is such a good thing to give at Christmas as a present. It's something that every parent is going to want to get for their children. So it's a really great opportunity to maximize your heat press there. You've also got things like tea towels and aprons for a kitchen point of view. They're super easy to print on because they have a very large print area. So, there might be the occasional seam that you have to navigate, but all in all, they're pretty easy to print onto. And same with cushion covers. They're pretty easy as well. You just either slip a platen or a cushion in there to isolate and easy peasy. So they're just some ideas of what we recommend you sell at Christmas. And like I said, this doesn't have to be a festive themed product range. Obviously, if you want to do that, then by all means, please do. It's a really fun thing to do. But if you think, oh, I don't have the time to add all these additional products in, I don't have the designs, which we'll get onto in a minute because we do have stock designs. But in general, if you just want to use this time of year to promote your generic business, then that is absolutely fine as well. We do have stock designs. So if your thought process is, oh, I've got the products, as in the blank garments, and I'd like to be able to offer Christmas designs, but I don't have time to design them. I don't know what I want to put on there. There are stock designs available and free to use on our custom heat transfer website, EasyView. We will be covering that later on in the live, so stick with me if you want to learn more about that. But yeah, super easy way to get into the Christmas market. So moving on to custom heat transfers versus heat transfer vinyl. Now, a lot of people come to us with the question, which one do I use and when? When do I choose heat transfer vinyl? When do I choose custom transfers? Now, the general rule of thumb that we like to recommend is that if you're doing a quantity of under 10, heat transfer vinyl is perfectly fine. You can cut and weed between 1 and 10 designs without a lot of manual labor involved, a lot of weeding. That's fairly achievable. If you go over 10, that's when we tend to switch to custom transfers, which we'll cover in a minute. Another reason to choose heat transfer vinyl is the special effect finishes. So like you can see here, we've got, I think that's a metallic transfer on there. So it really does achieve such a different finish to, just your standard flat prints. And at Christmas time, that's when everybody's expecting the metallics, the glitters, the flocks, all of those kind of finishes. So heat transfer vinyl is a great way to go about that. And of course, you can offer personalization with heat transfer vinyl as well. So whether that be initials, whether it be a family name, like we said about the Santa sacks, if you want to put a child's name on there, even things such as, ages, things like that, dates. There's so many things that you can offer from a personalization point of view that heat transfer vinyl allows you the luxury of doing. So that's another thing to consider with your product range. And by all means, you can easily match heat transfer vinyl with custom heat transfers. So if you want to do like your main design in a custom heat transfer to save time, and then you want to go in and add the personalized name in heat transfer vinyl afterwards on a separate part or just above it, that is perfectly fine as well. There's no reason you can't, use mixed media for these designs. So just before we move on, I wanted to show you a little bit of a close-up of some of the heat transfer vinyl finishes. So in the top left-hand corner, you can see we've got the flock finish, which is such a lovely, luxurious, velvety finish, and that's perfect for this time of year, as is the glitter on the opposite side. So glitter, metallic, foil, all of those vinyls that give you that shimmery, bright, vibrant look. They are the perfect finishes for this time of year. And you've also got your Sports Film Extra and your Premium Plus as well, so your soft, thin, matte finishes that you can achieve just like your very nice high quality finish with. So if you want to use vinyl but you don't want to use glitter, that's fine. You can still get the soft matte finish with Sports Film Extra.
I heard a rumor that Chroma Twill HTV from Stars is the new Christmas glitter.
Did everybody
just
hear that?
Saying.
Okay, so Chroma Twill, everybody, if you're using heat transfer vinyl at Christmas, consider chroma twill from Beth. There you go, top tip. We'll check her sources later to make sure.
An exclusive from Beth behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. She can see everything we're doing. Okay, moving on. So how do you get if you're using heat transfer vinyl, how do you get the quickest turnaround time on that? Now, the easiest part is getting your heat transfer vinyl, right? And that is where we come in. So if you head to styles.co.uk, you can get Styles CAD cut heat transfer vinyl on next day delivery, and you can order it either by the meter or by the roll. So regardless of how much you want, you can get, you know, the spare meter to finish that job, or you can get 25, 50 meters to start the next job tomorrow. So that's really, really helpful. The second part of this is your turn time for heat transfer vinyl. So just making sure that you give yourself enough time to physically cut and weed the designs as well as apply them, because obviously that takes a little bit longer than what custom heat transfers would, because they arrive ready to be pressed. So take that into consideration when you're heat printing your designs, but you can get heat transfer vinyl for the quickest turnaround in the UK from Styles UK. So that's part one of the puzzle ticked off your list straight away. Moving on to custom heat transfers. Now, like I said, if you're printing quantities of more than 10, this is where custom heat transfers come in. Now, those of you that have been with us for a while, have watched a few of our lives, have been customers for a while, you will know that you can order a minimum of 1 custom heat transfer with our Ultra Colour Max direct to film transfers. However, we do recommend, in terms of a quantity point of view, to switch to Ultra Colour when you do 10 or more from a price point of view. So having DTF in terms of getting the no barriers to entry, again, you could order a sheet of personalisation if you wanted to. You can do all of those things with Ultra Colour Max DTF. But in terms of getting the best price point, screen printed transfers and ultra colour transfers, especially at Christmas when you want all of the fun designs and all the colours, they are the best ones to go for because they will give you the best price point. And our ultra colour and screen print transfers produce and ship to you within 2 working days. So that's the quickest turnaround time in the UK for custom heat transfers. And the best thing about it is that they are the world leading at custom heat transfers. So not only are you getting a product as quick as possible, you're getting the best product as soon as possible. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I saw you wandering through, sorry. The next thing I wanted to talk about with custom transfers was the level of detail you can achieve in your artwork. So with heat transfer vinyl, obviously you're cutting your design with a vinyl cutter, whether that be a Graphtec, a Suma, something like that. But with custom heat transfers, you don't have to do that. We do all the hard work for you and we just send them to you ready to be heat pressed. So I've put a little example up on here. So this Merry Christmas design with all of the puppies in it has been printed onto this pajama t-shirt here, but I've put the design on there so that you can see the level of detail that we've managed to print onto that with our ultra color heat transfers. So that's not something that you would be able to do with heat transfer vinyl, firstly because of the amount of colors in there, the detail as well. You can layer some heat transfer vinyls, but again, for the size in that design and the amount of layers you would have to do, it wouldn't be worth doing. And also the detail as well. There are some really, really fine bits of detail in there in the artwork, and you wouldn't want to be cutting and weeding that out of heat transfer vinyl. So that is another reason to switch to custom heat transfers. And the third and final one I wanted to touch on today was the photorealistic finish. So this isn't one that we see too often, but especially around Christmas time, if people wanted, say, for example, a picture of their family or, you know, a silly picture of somebody to give as a gift, you know, you can achieve those photorealistic finishes with ultra color heat transfers. So if somebody wants that as a gift, or if they've asked for it in particular, you can be confident and say yes, knowing that the transfers will be able to do that for you. And again, just a little close up here of what the custom heat transfers look like. So you can see on this Merry Christmas design in the middle here that the detail in between the text on that is so, so fine. That will all print perfectly onto the shirt, and it has done. But with the heat transfer vinyl, you wouldn't be able to achieve that. So again, we touched on turnaround time. So if you head to custom.styles.co.uk, this is where you can upload, quote, and order all of your custom heat transfer designs with EasyView. And you can order every single heat transfer type there is. So you've got the DTF transfers, which are Ultra Colour Max. You've got Ultra Colour transfers, which are profitable. Sorry, they are profitable because they go up in quantity, you get lower pricing. But they are our full colour digital heat transfer. So once you get to a certain point, similar to HTV with quantity, we recommend that you switch from DTF to ultra color so that you can get the best price point and make the most money off of your products. And then we obviously have screen printed heat transfers as well. So your traditional, plastisol inks, they can be Pantone matched. They are still one of the #1 heat transfers that we offer. So definitely the best place, your one-stop shop for everything heat transfer related. And in terms of turnaround time, Ultra Color Max is, I believe, ships next day, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you order by midnight, your DTF transfers will ship next day. And then Ultra Color and screen print is your 2 working days. So still the quickest turnaround time that you can get in the UK for heat transfers. And like I said, these are the best quality custom heat transfers that you can get on the market. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone with that one. So this is the ordering process, which I'm going to take you through next. So step 1, you head online to EasyView, you upload your artwork, you order your transfers. They arrive to you ready to be printed in gang sheet format. So whether you order 1 transfer or you upload multiple and make it a gang sheet, which we always recommend you do, then it's your turn to do the work and press them with your press. And I say do the work, it's really not that difficult. 12-second press and you're done. So really, it takes probably a maximum of 20 seconds. By the time you load the garment, you do the pre-press, you place the transfer, you press it, you peel it. 20 seconds-ish per garment, so it's really not that difficult. So let's take you through the process of doing that. So I'm just going to screen share all of you to EasyView. No, we're not doing that yet, Beth.
I was too
Beth
eager.
got excited. She thought we were going over to the heat press. Okay. So this is our EasyView system. So for those of you that haven't seen it before, this is where you can order all of your custom heat transfers online. So if you scroll down, you can see we've got our screen printed heat transfers, we've got our Ultra Color heat transfers, and we've got our Ultra Color Max DTF transfers. We do also have subly blocker transfers, which if you're fusing onto sportswear or heavily dyed garments to stop dye migration, that is an option as well. But today we're just going to click Ultra Color Transfer. We're going to order a full color today. Then if we scroll down, you can choose your size. Now, we do have all of the sizes available for you, but if you are building a gang sheet, I highly recommend you go for the A3 size because this is going to give you the most space possible and get you the best price point because you can put as many transfers as you can fit onto that sheet. So let's just go to upload image. So once you're here, you can see all of our stock designs. Now you can upload your own image by clicking here. So if you have your own design that you want to load on, then by all means upload that and order that. But if you do want to make the most of our stock designs, which are free to use, then just come down, select Christmas, and it will load up all of the Christmas designs that we have available for you. Now these are the Ultra Color ones. If you were to have selected screen print when you were initially on the homepage, at the moment, in this stage, it would show you all of the screen printed stock designs. So we've pre-filtered them for you so that anything with, over 3 colors automatically becomes an Ultra Color stock design, and anything with less than three or under, is a screen print, just so that you, again, get the best price point for whichever transfer you're using. So let's choose a design. Let's go with the dog Christmas tree that we had on our presentation so that you can really see the detail in there. So as you can see here, we can adjust the size of this design. If I place it over the edge, it tells us that we've placed the image partially outside the decoration area and it will be cropped. So if you do accidentally load your design over, we try and give you the warning that, we won't print this. So make sure it's all within the zone, just like that. And you can change the color of this background as well. So if you come up here, you can change the color of your artboard to match the color of your garment. So if you want to make sure that your design works with the color garment you want to print it on, just make sure that, there aren't any colors that are going to disappear. So we've got obviously pink in this design. If I was to make this really, really pink, it might lose some of the detail in here. So you just want to make sure that's the right color. Then you hit OK, and you can, like I say, this design we would do as a large print because of the detail. But if you wanted to load more on, you can either come up here and copy and paste your design that you have on here, and you can move them around as well. So don't be afraid to really fill this sheet up. So this is obviously a lot more efficient in terms of space to spin this one around. And then you can also go back and add another design as well. So it's not just one design per sheet, you can add as many as you like. So let's add the driving home for Christmas stock design in here. Bring it down to the bottom left corner. We're going to shrink it a little bit. And as you're changing the size, Easy View here will tell you the size of it as well. So rather than you having to guess what size they are, you can say, oh, okay, I want this as a 10 by 10. Right, let's get that to 10 centimeters. There we go. I mean, this isn't quite a square, so it's 10 by 9.71, but you get the idea. So you can build up as many designs on this gang sheet as you like.
Big shout out to everybody joining us on YouTube. We've got Darren and Carrie with us. Good morning, guys. Love to know if you guys are printing Christmas apparel at the moment. I'm actually really intrigued to see if people are printing Christmas gifts or if they're printing Christmas merchandise. So let us know in the comments, guys.
Oh, apologies, everyone. I've just somehow managed to unshare my screen. Let me just redo that for you. There we go. And we're back. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to finish making our gang sheet here. Just going to chuck another. Oh no, we don't want to copy and paste all of them. There we go. Okay, so this isn't the perfect gang sheet. I would obviously spend a bit more time doing this if I was actually going to order this on the system, but you get the idea. There we go. Let's just go with that for now. Okay, so we've already got 5 designs on here, 2 of which are fairly large. So already you've divided the cost of your transfer sheet by 5 again because of the amount of transfers you've put on here. So minimum order for ultra color is 10, but if we were to change this to 100, the cost per sheet has gone from £5.99 to £3.01. Again, divide that by 5 again per sheet because that's how many transfers you've got. If we were to change this to 200, it drops to 248. If we were to change it to 500, it drops to 215. So as you can see, the more sheets you order on here, the lower the price becomes. So that's why we always recommend that A, you gang sheet, but B, you switch to ultra color when you are ordering volume prints, because it is going to save you money and it is going to allow you to make more profit on the sheets you're ordering. So win-win scenario. We do obviously recommend gang sheets. You're paying for this entire sheet when you order transfers, so why not fill it up with as much as you can? I would recommend as well if you've got some space on here, so like in the corners here or the gaps, if you've got space and you can't get a design to fit in there that you need, I would definitely order some neck labels or, you know, some branding or something for you. Even if it's a customer order, you know, you're going to cut these transfers out before you print them anyway. So make sure that you are utilizing that entire sheet. So, okay, let's just say we want to order 250 of these. We're going to select buy. It will save our gang sheet and then give us the option. So it's added it to the basket. Now we can either go back and add another transfer sheet in, or we can check out. So if I wanted to order, for example, multiple different gang sheets, I would then go back, build the next one, add it to the basket. Same with screen printed transfers as well. So if you wanted to add a different product type, you could do that as well. We're going to hit checkout. There we go. And then all you have to do is go through the payment process and it will go straight into our production queue. There is no waiting around needed. It literally goes the other side of that wall that I'm sitting against now. It goes through our artworking and then straight to the machines that print your transfers. So they'll be with you in 2 working days. So like I said, quickest turnaround time for the world's best full color heat transfers. And that's all it takes. It's that easy. So does anyone have any questions before we move on? Before I leave Easy View, we've gone through, you know, which transfer types, the stock designs. I can quickly touch on the different transfer types before we move on, because I didn't mention that initially, just for anyone that's new. So it does tell you on here when you come onto it. So screen printed heat transfers, minimum order of 10, 2-day turnaround on production. And it's for designs with 1 to 5 colors. And you can have Pantone matched as well. So that's a really important one if you've got customers, not even for Christmas, but, you know, corporate customers that want their specific brand color, their Pantone color in their design. You can do that with absolute confidence and know that it's going to be the perfect color for them. Then we have ultra color, which is our full color heat transfer. So same again, minimum order quantity of 10 pieces, 2-day turnaround on production, and you can have unlimited colors with this one, okay? So this is the best selling heat transfer and it's full color. So with the way that fashion is going and the way that the production industry is going, I'm not surprised that full color is leading the way. And then we have got Ultra Color Max. Now this is our direct to film heat transfer. hence why it's minimum order of 1 piece. So this is the low minimum order, the no minimum order, I should say. And this is the transfer that ships next day. So if you order by midnight, it says here, you can get your transfer to ship next day. So again, no minimum order, quickest turnaround time. This has been quite a popular transfer for the Christmas period because you can order the biggest gang sheet that we have for Ultracolor Max is a 55 by 55 sheet. So if you are just doing a shorter run of Christmas themed products and you didn't want to order, lots and lots of them, then ordering 1 or 2 sheets of Ultracolor Max, ganging all of those designs up is quite a profitable way to do that, and it means that you aren't stuck with lots of transfers that you're not going to use. So there's a heat transfer type for whichever products you're printing, whatever your requirements are, there is something here to meet your needs. Do we have any further questions on the custom heat transfer front?
Everybody's being quite quiet.
Everyone's
today.
Quiet today. What's happening, everyone? Come on, it's Friday.
We have
the
lots
questions?
of watchers. We do. They're silently in the background. So drop us your Christmas comments, guys.
Well, maybe they'll pipe up a bit more when we move over to the heat press. So I'm going to stop talking now. Let's stop that share. I'm going to switch cameras. And we're going to move over to the heat press and do some actual printing. So I think this is going to hopefully wake all of you up into doing a little bit of commentary. So there we go, we're switching cams. So moving over to our heat press. Are we good? Yep, we're good, perfect. So we're going to use one of my favorite presses today. This is the Hotronix Auto Open Press. And the reason it's called the Auto Open Press is because you probably know what's about to happen. Easy. It automatically opens for you. So this is one of my favorite presses. If you're running like a busy business or, you like to multitask, you don't want to worry about not being there to open your press. If you pull it down and the phone goes or the doorbell goes or, something takes your attention, you don't have to worry about your press overpressing or burning or scorching your garment. It will pop open and it will just sit there until you come back to remove it. So one of my favorite features about the press. Now, we're going to do 2 applications today. I'm going to do 1 T-shirt and 1... Where's my T-shirt gone, Beth?
I have not touched it.
Can you please grab me a T-shirt at some... I seem to have grabbed a pair of leggings. We're not fusing leggings today. We'll do the hoodie first. So we're going to just fuse onto a hoodie. Now, like I said in the presentation earlier, if you're printing products around the festive season, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to produce festive garments. You can produce your own normal products that aren't festive themed with your heat press and just market them to be perfect gifts around the Christmas season, let's say. So first of all, we're going to just print a fairly easy design on using a DTF transfer onto this hoodie. Now, if I come closer to the camera in the light, you might be able to see, but this hoodie has a pocket on the front. Can we all see that? Yes, we can now. So there's a pocket on the front of that. So we want to print in this area and we want to make sure that the pocket isn't affecting the pressure. So if I was to load this onto the heat press, like so, we're using a 40 by 50 platen. This is the 40 by 50 press. So option 1, we could swap out the platen, but option 2, we're going to use a pillow. So what we're going to do is this area here, which is where the pocket sits, is going to affect the pressure of our fuse. So we're going to need to raise this print area so that we can have perfect pressure on the area that we're actually applying to. So if we were to pull this down now, apply the transfer, the pressure would not be on this area. It would regulate from the highest point, which is where this seam is. So what I'm going to do is remove my jumper and I'm going to get a heat printing pillow. Now, this is one of many heat press accessories that you can get for heat printing. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip before we get started. So because obviously when you put the pillow under the platen like this, the pressure that regulates from the midpoint here is going to change because you've added an extra layer of thickness under here, right? So when you pull it down, that's going to need a good couple of points of pressure taking off of that. So if I pull this down now, I'm just going to change the timer to 3 seconds so that we don't burn the platen. If I pull this down now, that pressure's on a 3, which is about right because once we put a garment and a transfer under there, that'll be between a 4 and a 5, which is perfect medium pressure. If I add that pillow under there and try to pull this down, that's on a 9. You see, I had to really force that. That should not sound like that when it opens. That is overpressured. So just by putting this pillow under here, that has increased the pressure by 5 points. Now, that is something to note, that Hotronics pressure is super, super accurate. And even just by placing this pillow, so this is enough to raise up the print area of this hoodie, but it's also enough to increase the pressure of this press. So what we're going to do is just turn it a couple of turns to release the pressure, and we're going to try again. So that's on a 6, which is the higher end of medium pressure, but bearing in mind we don't have our garment under here yet. So once we load the hoodie on, that is going to then add another point or 2 of pressure. So I'm going to take another turn off and try once more. So that's now on a 3. So by the time we load our hoodie under here, that should be about right. So just by placing the pillow under here and pressurizing, sorting your pressure out first, you aren't going to scorch your garment. If I was to have loaded my hoodie on here, put the pillow in, then tried to work out the pressure, as much as that would have been okay for finding the right pressure amount, you probably would have put scorch marks on your hoodie, because I've pulled this down a good 2 or 3 times now, and you don't need to add that unnecessary heat onto your garment. So just use the pillow first before you load your actual garment on, so that you don't wreck it before you print on it. So taking the pillow away for a second, we're going to load the garment on. And then we're just going to slip the pillow in where we need it to be, thread the garment fully on there, and I'm just going to pull the pillow up to where I need it to be. So just like that. So now, I don't know if, can you zoom in on this, Beth, so that
indeed, yes.
See if everybody can see. So now we've got this raised print area where the pillow has lifted up the area of the garment. I'm showing you on the side because I don't know if you can see this at the back, but the seam is now below the pressure point of the pillow. So that's perfect and ready for us to print onto. So we're just going to give it a quick pre-press. I'm just going to change my timers back so that they are set for a 3-second pre-press and a 12-second main press. Cool. Let's bring this down. See, that pressure is on an 8, which is still overpressured. So I'm just going to take it off a little bit before we apply our transfer, just so we don't completely wreck the garment. And then we're going to take our transfer. Now, like I said before, this isn't a Christmas themed transfer. You can still sell your normal products around the festive season. So we're just going to go with a standard graffiti DTF transfer today. That artwork, super, super cool, designed by our team here at Styles. Absolutely love that. And it just goes to show, you know, the level of detail you can achieve with these transfers. So make sure that that is on the pillow. Make sure none of the transfers off the edge. This is just about the right size. If you did have part of the transfer hanging off the edge here, it wouldn't apply properly because it would be off the raised area, so it wouldn't be getting the right amount of pressure. So when you go to peel your transfer, part of it would have applied perfectly fine, and then you'll probably get bits down the side that are kind of half peeling off, which you don't really want. Load on your release paper, and we're going to fuse for 12 seconds. And now our pressure's sat at a 5, so it just needed a little bit more. The hoodie added a bit more thickness to the pressure than what I expected, but that's why we pre-press, to double check these things before we apply the actual transfer. There we go. And because we're using DTF, this is a hot peel, so I can just pull this straight off like so. Nothing left on the carrier sheet there. We can remove our garment, leave the pillow on the press, and there you have your finished product. So it's super easy. Really easy to do. And we've applied a transfer on there around the pocket without having to change the bottom platen. So we talk a lot about at Styles UK about how much we love our interchangeable platens, and we do, don't get me wrong, they are very, very handy and they are the most versatile way of printing. But if you don't have a Hotronics press and you want to be able to do something like this, then the pillows that we sell are a great option for you. And alternatively, if you are just doing something quickly and you're buying like a bundle and you're not sure which accessory to get, I'd always recommend throwing these in because you never know when they're going to come in handy. So I've done this backwards. I was going to do the t-shirt first and then the hoodie, but we'll revert back to the t-shirt now. Have I got a t-shirt, Beth?
Yes, I
Thank
have
you.
got you multiple colour choices.
Oh, lovely. Okay, we'll go for this one so that the transfer hopefully shows up. So removing the pillow, we are going to need to adjust our pressure back again. So whether or not you're using a heat printing pillow or changing the lower platen, you are still going to need to adjust your pressure with each change. So if I was to put a smaller platen on here, the pressure wouldn't be right from this platen. I'd still need to adjust it. Because you're changing the surface area that the top platen is coming down onto, it will affect the pressure of it. So we'll just check. That's on a 0, needs a bit more. We did take quite a lot of pressure off. That's on a 7. Let it come back up. It's on the 12-second fuse. We're going to have a very hot lower platen when we finish this live. Okay, so that's slightly too much. So I'm just going to take it off a little bit. Right, now it's time to load our garments. So we've got a very nice bright coloured t-shirt here. And as you can see, it's got creases all over the front of it. So we're going to pre-press it just to remove those and to double check that our pressure is correct after all the changing round that we've been doing today. So load it on, and with this t-shirt, as you can see, the neckline and the shoulder seams hang off the platen, and this is a totally flat surface. So there's no need for a pillow here. It was purely that front pocket situation on the hoodie that required us to raise the print area. Just going to put the release paper on to protect the garment, and we're on a pressure of 5, so that's perfect. Now this time round, oh, that went flying. This time around, we are going to apply a custom heat transfer that's Christmas themed. So this is one of our stock designs. We've got the Slay All Day design here. Can you see that? The light's a bit dodgy. There we go. So we're going to pop that onto the t-shirt. I'm going to have to just stand in front of it for a second to make sure it's straight, because doing this sideways is quite difficult. There we go. And then just pick up our release paper. And we're going to fuse this for 12 seconds. So the Ultra Colour Max heat transfers, which are our DTF heat transfers that we've been using today, apply at 145 degrees for 12 seconds, and of course hot peel. So really quick, really easy, fairly low fuse temperature. Pull this off, one go. So satisfying. I love doing that. It's the best bit of the live, doing the demonstrations. And there you have it. You have your Slay All Day festive design. And like I said, these transfers, if you order them by midnight, will ship next day. So if you were to order, what's the time? You've got just under 12 hours to order your transfers, and they will ship tomorrow. So you can have your designs print by this time tomorrow. You could be printing your, in 2 days, you could be printing your transfers. So if you do get Christmas orders, don't worry, you can still fulfill them at this time of year. So Christmas is in what, 5 weeks? 6 weeks?
Oh, it's
ish.
Fast approaching.
Roughly one of those times. So if you get orders, whether it be for your normal products or for festive themed products that you want to be able to fulfill, and you're panicking thinking, oh, there's not enough time, Christmas is coming up, I've got all these other jobs I need to be doing, don't worry about it. With Ultra Colour Max and even Standard Ultra and Screen Print, you can print these just as quick, just as easily, and the quality of them does not differ. So this is still going to last the 75 plus washes, because we've applied it at the correct time, temperature and pressure with our auto open heat press. So there really is no reason to not fulfill those orders. The reason that we make everything so quick and easy for you guys is so that you can run successful and profitable businesses. So yeah, that's pretty much how to increase your turnaround time at Christmas. Do we have any further comments on today's live? I know I've been talking for nearly 40 minutes, so
We've still got plenty of watchers. They're all just silent in the background, but I'm dropping a couple of links into the comments now for Facebook and for YouTube.
cool.
Just for where people can buy their transfers from, which is custom.styles.co.uk. And then I'm going to put a link to our free Christmas stock design so you can have a look through before you decide which ones you're going to purchase.
The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit today before we finish the live is Black Friday. Now, Black Friday is next week, and we're going to be launching our bundles in probably a few days before that, right, Beth?
Yes,
yes. So keep an eye on our socials. Make sure you're subscribed to our email list. But we have got some massive, massive savings this year. We've got some great deals, some great bundles. So make sure that you're, ready to hop on that when they go live. We've got some good podcasts coming out between now and New Year around starting a business. So if you are thinking about starting a business, then these bundles are by far the best price point to purchase a heat press at, because not only do you get your heat press at a slightly discounted rate, but you also get accessories. You can get either vinyl or custom transfer credit, weeding tools, pillows, cover paper, grip flex, all of those things that you need to start your heat printing business come in one box. So, there's no reason for you to think in a couple of months' time, oh, I'll buy my press and then, oh, I need this and this and this. It all comes together, and we're discounting it for you for Black Friday. So some great offers, some great deals. And the best way to go about that is to be subscribed to the email newsletter and to follow us on socials, I take it, as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everyone needs to follow us on socials. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this week's live. Just to recap, so if you are printing products around Christmas, whether it be heat transfer vinyl or custom transfers, there is still time. You can still sell and make profit with Styles UK because of our quick turnaround times on the world's leading products. So all you need to do is either head online to styles.co.uk to order your products and get printing. That's basically it. Don't forget to like and subscribe on whichever platform you're watching on. We do have new podcasts coming out on Monday, which is launching a brand new heat press product. So I'm very excited for you all to listen to that. If you've been paying attention, you may already know what it is, but I'm very excited to have that conversation with Andy. We spoke in depth about the new product, and yeah, I'm excited for you all to get to see it and understand what it is. Until then, I think we've covered everything. So thank you very much to everyone for joining me, and we'll be back next Friday with another Friday Lunchtime Live.